So, you're married and you're wondering, why do I act the way that I do? Or why does my partner act the way that they do? We're going to start a mini series for the next few weeks. I can't tell how many weeks, but we're going to be sharing about temperaments and how they affect the different areas of our relationships, be it marriage or dating. Why does my person fear fighting? Why do they fear fights? Why do they fear in-law conversations? Like, where is it coming from?
Why are they always acting like as if they don't listen? Why are they always acting like they don't care what you say? Why are they so tough?
Or when we don't have money, they're in the worst mood ever. Yeah, so babe, you introduce what temperaments are, what temperaments are there, and maybe we can also share what our temperaments are.
You really want to know my temperament on camera?
Yeah.
Well, if you're new here, welcome and subscribe. Yes, it will make us feel so much more in love. Now, temperaments are pretty much like some kind of DNA of how someone will behave in certain circumstances. I think that's the simplest way to define it.
Yeah.
There are so many definitions and so many tests of temperaments and so many variations and nuances of temperaments and definitions. But today we'll focus on the most common, which is talked about, which is phlegmatic, melancholic, sanguine, and
Choleric.
choleric.
Yeah. I had written the definition here of temperaments as your natural born traits. You are just born that way.
Yeah.
And before we even go ahead, I just want to say that there's no temperament that is better than the other. There's no temperament that is bad. Each of them has their weaknesses and their strengths. And being able to, the reason why we think that this is important is when you know yourself, when you know who you are and why you act the way that you do, it's a starting point for you to maximize your strengths, but also to work on your weaknesses. We cannot continue to live in a life where we say, me, I'm like that. That's how I've always been, that's how I'm always going to be. No, you can always improve on your weaknesses.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, your temperament does not exactly have to be 100%. You can't be, say, 100%. Like, everybody has a small percentage a small percentage of everything.
Yeah.
But they're the two most, like the primary and secondary, which usually stand out a lot of times.
Yeah. So you mentioned there's sanguine, phlegmatic, choleric, melancholic.
Yeah.
So the ones that are introverts are the phlegmatic and the melancholies. They're introverts. They like to be by themselves. They don't want a lot of attention and pressure. And then the extroverts are the sanguines and the cholerics.
Yes.
So here I had written for us to remember like what these temperaments are. We have the popular sanguine.
Yeah.
Tell us about the sanguines. Popular sanguine. From the name you can already hear they like attention. They want to be popular, want to be known. They're the life of the party.
Yeah. They don't like being bored. When they are bored, it's like they are sick. they are really the nicest people to be around.
Happy people.
Yeah, especially if you're not sanguine. It would be nice to have those people around you, because they just, like, if, say, in the workplace, in the marriage, in a group of people, they're the ones that will make the group lively. Imagine a bunch of introverts to just be
And then we have the powerful cholerics. Tell us about the cholerics, babe. Just a summary of the cholerics without pointing fingers.
I thought they would tell us about themselves, but cholerics are usually tough. They seem tough people, but they just like to follow rules, and they are very factual. They like to have facts, order. They like taking lead.
Do things on time.
Yeah, they pretty much they like to have everything. This task has been done. This task has been done, and of course, if that is not achieved, then they are seemingly putting everyone else
down. Yeah.
Seemingly unqualified or not worth it.
Yeah. And then we have the peaceful phlegmatics. The reason why I was half laughing at the start of this video is because somebody over here is a peaceful phlegmatic. When you said, if you're new here, welcome. That's one of the traits of the phlegmatics. They're just peaceful, cool, easy, and laid back. They don't take their time. They take their time. They don't want to rush things. Like, where are we rushing? Where are we hurrying? Like, it's very hard.
But we keep time.
Yeah, sometimes. It's very hard to get a phlegmatic to do something like at that time, especially if you're choleric. Because they're like, why are we rushing? Let's give it some time. Let's think about it. Yeah. What are the traits?
Calm down.
Calm down. What are the traits are there of the phlegmatic?
I think they're generally nice people. They're people that you could easily manipulate, I think. And you find that I think a number of people pleasers are
phlegmatics
around there.
And of the four traits, the easiest people to get along with are the phlegmatics, because they're always peaceful. They are very loyal. If you have a friend who is a phlegmatic, no matter what you do to them, if they've decided to be your friends, they're there. If you've gotten married to a phlegmatic and he has said, you know what, I mean, this marriage to stay, he ain't going nowhere. They are very faithful people. Yeah.
And of course, sometimes because of that extra patience, when the patience runs out, it's bad.
That's true. They will give you all the chances, but when they lose it, they have lost it. And then, last but not least, the perfect melancholies. Tell us about these perfect people.
I think simply they always think they're right. That's it. They always think they're right. They really love to have things perfect.
They have high standards of themselves and of people.
Yeah. And then, of course, now the other people on the other sides they see the bubble they're in, but the melancholies themselves don't see that they're in that bubble. There's that bubble which they like to be in, which is, everything is okay. I got everything in control. If we just do this, this, and this, all will be good, without looking at other maybe opinions or things like that. So you can find that they could easily also do things by themselves.
Yeah, they don't want to delegate.
Yeah, if they're really not doing well, yes.
Yeah. So let's reveal our temperaments. I am melancholy choleric. Do you think melancholy is still the top? Yeah, I am still, melancholy choleric. Melancholy is slightly more than choleric, but I think they in terms compete, like the percentages. It was a very close cut. Yeah. And you are?
Melancholic phleg.
Yeah. And
right?
Yeah, you're quite phleg. Yeah. But baby, was melancholy the first of phleg?
I think we need to do the test again.
Yeah. After this video, we're going to do the test again. We're going to drop a link in the description below where you can do the test and tell us, what are you? And one of the ways that my temperament has affected our marriage is that I really, like, small things will really disappoint me. If you tell me, or if I have an expectation that we're, say, going to have a date night today, and we say it will be will be there at 4. And then at 4 p.m., you're not yet even back home. I have not heard from you by that time you come. Even if you come at 4:30, the mood is so bad, and I usually even have a hard time getting myself out of that mood. Like, it just rubs me the absolute wrong way. Even just having house helps, there's a certain standard to which I hold them at, but I'm learning to be a better employer. I give them space. I try and empower them as much as possible, try and delegate roles to them and leave them to do things the way they understand, because no one is going to do things the way that I do them, but they will do them the way they do them and to the best of their ability, and that's okay.
But you're improving. I think you're more patient, you're more
Understanding.
More understanding. You listen more, because I think that's one of the weaknesses as well
of cholerics,
of melancholic people. They're listening. You know, especially when you have everything set. You know, even when you're cooking, you're like, you know, I know what I'm doing.
I know the order of my things.
Yeah,
please.
I'm cooking. So
yeah.
I think also criticism. Do you take criticism well?
I'm learning.
Yeah, you're learning.
I'm learning to take criticism, but it still affects me.
Well, let me ask this question. Let me just throw in this question. Do personalities change?
Yes.
Say I'm born sanguine.
Yes.
Can I at some point become melancholic maybe?
Sanguine to male is quite big, because sanguines are extroverts and melancholics are introverts. Like, that's a whole 360 turn. But thank God you brought that up, because when we got married, I was male phleg. And then after we got married, and especially after our first child, when we did the test again, I was male choleric, with the male being like 53 and the choleric being 47. Yeah, so yes, they can change depending on the seasons, on circumstances, and
actually may I think that usually they change, but within the first two primaries.
Yeah.
Because I honestly think you did the test before you got married and you were phleg because you were in love, so you didn't really see any. Like, you had.
I was blinded by love.
Yeah, okay, I think you're still in love, but
yeah.
What I mean is.
But now I'm in love and more knowledgeable.
Yeah, hormones were.
Yeah.
So it's good to do the test also after.
Yeah, before and after marriage.
Yeah. And I think also, like, when you're dating, it's good to do the test, like, when you're both angry, then you do the test. So you really... That's
when you get the real result.
Yeah. I think so. It might be more accurate than when, you're...
Babe, tell me one way, one of the examples of how your temperament has affected our marriage.
Okay, so now me...
Although we'll keep sharing along the series, but...
Yeah. I think it has helped us positively because I'm the more patient one. So some things we've managed to deal with certain circumstances or situations better because one of us is more angry than the other. So I try my best to keep calm and say, okay, you know what, okay, let's deal with this in the evening or tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then, so usually at that point we've thought things out, processed things out,
cooled down.
Figured out how to handle something, a situation. Yeah.
So in essence, you have saved us.
No, because I think I've also been maybe laid back on some things. Maybe we would have achieved some things sooner. Yeah, like maybe starting this channel.
True.
Yeah.
True.
So
anyway, guys, that's where we'll stop for this video today. Make sure you click the link below so you do the personality test and tell us what your temperament is, and do it with your partner find out what your partner's temperament is, and along the series we'll keep sharing how these temperaments affect us communication wise, parenting, running homes, in our work, in our jobs.
And if you've been with your partner for a long time, try and do the test for them.
And try and predict what they are.
Yeah, and find out whether your results will be the same.
Will tally. Yeah.
And they should do it for you as well. So you do the test twice. One being imagining it's you, the one being imagining it's
your partner answering.
Yeah.
Yeah, and don't forget to like, share, and
subscribe. I'll tell you what, when you subscribe, it means so much because it gets us more in love with each other. So maybe just
not just that, but it supports our channel. Yeah. Thank you, guys.